guys, welcome back to our channel. If you are new, welcome. We are the Hale Sisters. My name's Megan.
I'm Kristen.
And today is Faith Friday. Y'all know I love this day.
So today's topic is going to be on stress and anxiety.
And there we go.
And I'll start. So basically, over mainly this year, but it's been like forever, just like building upon it. But mainly this year, I've dealt with a lot of stress and anxiety. Started at the beginning of this year, just like school and work and a lot of just outside influences caused a lot of stress, to the point of me having a small breakdown after a final. And then I was getting my life back on track, and like life was great. It still is great, don't get me wrong. Life is going great. And then just things happen health-wise. Things with my poor puppy. So yeah, just life situations happen, and I felt myself coming back to that place of where I was back in April, and I was like, no, we're not doing it. So we'll tell you more about what we do to cope with our own stress later in the video.
I have struggled with stress and anxiety probably like a few years. I just feel like I didn't really know how to manage it. So I either would shut down completely, like as in I kind of would just shut myself off from like really everybody, including family, which is weird for me because like I'm very family oriented. Or I would just have like meltdowns all the time where I would cry, and I'm already an emotional person. So if you could just imagine like when I'm stressed and have a lot of anxiety, like
so intense.
Like I just be breaking down just because everything stresses me out. And I feel like I have a little bit of like OCD already. So with the combination of that and just me kind of always like striving for perfection, I guess, like in all aspects of life, I feel like that just like built my stress and anxiety more. So I definitely feel like it was worse in the beginning of this year. And I think as I kind of just was able to like organize my life in a sense, and like, you know, just kind of like separate some stuff and like, you know, kind of categorize different things to not let it like overwhelm me so much, that definitely helped. So we will definitely go into specifics as to like verses and just different things we do to kind of feel like, or to kind of help us cope with it. So do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
And I definitely feel like later we should do like a video on just, because I feel like the first 6 months of the year we were like one person, and then in this latter part we're like a whole new people. Like,
yeah, that's so true. We like look at like just pictures of ourselves and we're like, wow. Like we were in such a different space, like at that point of life. So
we'll definitely talk about it. Transformation video, glow up video. Okay, so for me, one thing I want to say is that a lot of people deal with stress and anxiety and they feel as if something is wrong with it because they're the only ones dealing with it. So back in the beginning of the year when I was going through all my stuff, we had moved out, we were living on our own. And I just remember just like coming home and just being so stressed. But once you're in that situation, once you're living and dwelling in stress and anxiety, you don't really realize it. That's just like your normal life.
Yeah.
So
that it's like consumed you.
Exactly. So I would come home and I would be stressed and stuff, but I wouldn't really think of it. I would be having like, I would be going off on her for no reason. The dumbest thing. And she would be like, Kristen, like, are you okay? And
I'll be like,
I'm
all
fine.
right, now.
Stop asking me if I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so anyway, what I did was I put myself in conflict, which a lot of people, even some people in my circle, were like, why are you going to counseling? You don't need counseling,
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think it's very important for us as human beings to not only focus on our exterior and our physical health, but also our mental health. Because if our mental health is not stable and healthy and thriving, our physical health can only do so much, because they work together. They go hand in hand. So I meet with a counselor, and we just talk about life situations and things like that. She helps me look at things different ways, and she's literally just like sitting down talking to one of my girlfriends that actually has knowledge, because we can have them girlfriends who's like, girl, you good, and you wrong,
right?
So that, and also getting into my words. So I want to read one of the scriptures that helps me when I'm feeling very anxious or stressed. I just kind of am like, okay, I'm feeling anxious. Take a couple deep breaths, and then I meditate on the scripture. Phillipians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So basically,
amen.
So basically, to me, what that verse basically breaks down to say is, you don't need to be anxious about anything in life. One, because God knows the plans that He has for your life before we were even born. Like, He knew what He was going to do for us. He knows what we're going through. Mm-hmm. So all we need to do is pray to God and ask Him, God, you know the situation. Help me through this situation. Help me to make this situation better and to calm me down.
Yeah.
And He says right here that He will do it because He transcends all understanding. So yeah, that's my word.
That's a word. So I definitely struggled, and I think sometimes I still struggle with just new people coming in my life, but for a long time I struggled just like telling people about like things I went through. So I would keep everything inside. I felt like it was necessary for me, myself, and I to figure it out. I didn't need no help, or I don't know. You know how you kind of feel embarrassed, or you just don't know, like, is this normal? Is this not normal? Like, am I supposed to figure this out by myself? Like, that's kind of how I was. And so I just didn't think it was necessary to talk to anybody. And it really wasn't until I started talking to my family, Kristen got a lot of it, she like my personal counselor, and all right now, and everybody else, like, really in my family. I talked to my dad about different things. I talked to my mom about different things. I even go to my brother about different things. And I know how different families are different with their siblings and, parents. Sometimes you don't go to them like that. Mm-hmm. But those really are like my confidants. So those are the people I go to. And it really wasn't until I just had those people to just kind of like release some of the stress to. And it wasn't even that they would always give me advice. And it wasn't that I always needed advice. Sometimes it was just like, I just need to get this off my chest, like vent, mm-hmm. and then just like be able to go from there. Or sometimes I just need somebody to tell me like, Megs, like, it's fine. Like, you don't need to like figure this all out at once. And I definitely was going through a time in life where I just didn't know what my route and like path of life looked like. So I was so stressed. Like, I just was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know if I'm just doing this because I like it, or if this is like the purpose for my life. Like, I just felt so overwhelmed, and it was like I couldn't really enjoy anything that was going on around me because I just felt like everything was so out of control. Like, I just felt like I was just like living in chaos. So definitely talking to them and like, being able to like have somebody that I could kind of lean on in like a certain aspect or whatever, that definitely helped me. But there is a Bible verse that speaks to me, I think a lot, just how I deal with anxiety and stuff. And so it says, the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 34, and I'm reading from the Amplified version. So it says, so do not worry or be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will have worries and anxieties of its own. Sufficient for each day is its own trouble. And so I think that is just like very profound to me, just because I think a lot of times when I get stressed and very anxious about different things, it's like stuff that I really have no control of, like in that certain point. And it's always stuff that's like, for me at least, a lot of times it's like future stuff, like futuristic things that it's like makes like you don't even know if that's really how it's gonna go. Right. So like you over here freaking out about it, and it's like you have no control as to how that goes, or you don't know what could happen in your life that could either help you in that route or like lead you towards a different route. So I think that verse really speaks to me, because it's like sometimes I have to remind myself, like, you honestly, at the end of the day, like, I really don't have control of like what happens in my life. I really don't. And once I made that declaration to Christ that I was just gonna give him everything, like I really gave him like the wheel of like, you direct me in what path you think is best for me. And so sometimes like looking at this verse, it reminds me that like you can't be stressed out and you can't be anxious about what's gonna happen tomorrow, because you have no control of that, and you just need to focus on what you can do today to take that stress off of you today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I definitely think that verse, like, still to this day, I get anxious and stressed. Like, it just happens like on a natural basis. And you know, we working on it, y'all. We trying to control it or whatever. But it is hard. I mean, it's just life. So life can get overwhelming, and like your first thing is like stress and anxiety. So I think just kind of having that in my pocket to pull out every once in a while, I definitely think has also helped me in just finding a way to kind of calm myself and just like not let stress and anxiety like overtake my entire life.
That was good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, I completely agree. I think one main thing that I would say to focus on is just calming down and stepping back, looking at the situation and knowing only thing I can handle is right now. I can't deal with what I did 5 minutes ago because it's already done.
Right.
And I can't worry about what I'm about to do in 5 hours because I got to get through these first 4.
Right.
So just stepping back, focusing on your situation, and knowing that everything's going to be okay. Yeah. It's going to work out. It always does.
It does. My mom tells me that all the time. Like, that's the one thing she'll always say. She was like, Megan, everything will work itself out in the way it's supposed to. And I'll be like, no, it's not. Like, it's not gonna happen that way.
You don't understand.
And I'll be having to call her like a day after, like, so you was right. Like, that did work out. And I do think that a lot of times we put stress on ourselves that really is unnecessary. I think sometimes, like, and I'm like the first person to admit it, that I will stress out over stuff that's not even like stress worthy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why are you stressing about that? Like, you gonna eat, so why are you stressing on what you about to eat? Like, it's just dumb stuff like that I think we sometimes like blow it out of proportion and we make it so much bigger than it is in our heads. And I think also like, I definitely think it's good what Kristen said about just minimizing that and like taking it a step at a time. Like, you can only handle like what did you say when you were like, oh, don't worry about like the next 5 minutes because you got to get through the first 4? That's a word, y'all. That's a word. Like, I'm gonna use that on somebody. But no, that's so true, because like that is so true. Like, you can only control that. So like, why are you like making this big ordeal out of something that's so small that you really have no control over right now? Or it's just not necessary for you to freak out about at this point in life. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that's gonna happen or matter years from now, and we're like putting all our attention into it. So I definitely think, you know, there's a time and place for everything, and being able to like categorize that and be able to say, you know, like, at this time in my life, it's not even necessary to worry about this. So like, let me just worry about the present and what I have control of right now.
Yes. So guys, we will go ahead and list some scriptures below that help us stay grounded. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped, and hopefully you can apply something. And leave any comments below if you're dealing with any stress or anxiety, or if you have tips on coping with stress and anxiety. Just go ahead and add them down below and hit that red button. I already know you already did it in the beginning, so don't worry about it. But for those who didn't, go ahead and hit that red button and thumbs up the video, because you know you liked it.
What she said.
So thanks so much for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great week.
Bye.
You were strong.